Hi, thanks for your purchase of Hydroxy Re-Vitalizer 2.0. We're going to be mixing the electrolytic fluid. It's pretty simple, and let's just get started on it. You'll need several items. One of them is the electrolytic powder, which is sodium hydroxide or lye, very caustic. So we will be using safety equipment like gloves and glasses. And so let's put that down for now. We'll need a glass 1-quart jar. This was a former juice jar. You don't have to take the label off, obviously. We'll need a gallon of distilled water and a mixing cup. And we're going to be starting with putting, now before we start, obviously, you will have cleaned this out and with soap and water, and we're going to do a final rinse of everything. Everything should be cleaned with soap and water. Regular tap water is fine. We're going to be doing a final rinse with distilled water. So simply put some distilled water in here, like that. Put the cap back on tightly, mix it up. Okay, same thing with the mixing cup. Put a little bit of distilled water in it, swish it around, and because even the slightest bit of oil will cause foaming, so we're trying to get rid of, and we're trying to keep everything clean as well. Tap water is not good for the electrolyzer. Okay, so that's that. Now we're going to be putting in about 3/4 of a cup of water. We're going to be measuring that out here and putting that in the glass jar. Great. Now we're going to start pouring some of the powder inside. Just a little bit at a time, just about that much. And we're going to take our mixing utensil, which just happens to be a regular stainless steel butter knife. Very handy. We're going to be mixing it up, just like that. Take your time, there's no hurry. This will take about 10 or 15 minutes altogether. Okay. And you'll notice that the fluid will get less and less cloudy as it mixes. You need to thoroughly dissolve the sodium hydroxide and citric acid in the distilled water. Another thing you will notice is that it will start to get warm as well the more you mix in. That's normal, but it's great on a cold day. Okay, you can see that it's pretty clear. It's time for some more sodium hydroxide. Just pour it in like that. Put the cap back on and just keep mixing. Now you may notice a fume coming off of the jar. Just either step back. I blew it again. I should have put, no, that's okay, keep it going. I should have put gloves on. Now to be fair, I do this all the time, so I'm used to it. But safety first, you will need gloves. And I have glasses on, so I won't need the safety glasses, but you should definitely do this with safety glasses. Sodium hydroxide is very caustic, and if it gets in your eyes, very bad situation. If it gets on your hands, it's not as bad. Simply rinse your hands under running water until the slipperiness goes away. But anyway, my excuse is that I do this all the time, so I'm a professional. Okay, very good. We're going to pour some more sodium hydroxide powder in there. Also, the fumes coming off of this, maybe if you start to cough, it's that. So just step back away from it for a few minutes and go back to it. It's fine. But if you do step back because of the fumes, just put the cap on and make sure you label it poison, so if there's anyone else around, they won't accidentally drink it. A little bit more. It's already starting to get quite warm. Okay. All right, pour in the last little bit. Also, if any of this happens to spill on your clothes, it will eat your clothes. So just pour running water under where the drop hit your clothes. Believe it or not, it is perfectly safe in the electrolyzer. Okay, that's pretty much it. And you see it's almost perfectly clear. That cloudiness will eventually go away. Now, since it's very warm, if I had bare hands, it would be too hot to touch. We're going to put the cap on. Again, make sure you label it poison. And you're going to let it sit there for a few minutes, because up to an hour, as a matter of fact. Because when you pour it into the electrolyzer, it should be room temperature. It shouldn't be too hot. Thanks for listening. Make sure the safety first, make sure you wear gloves and safety glasses, or if you have regular glasses, that's probably going to be okay. And okay, thanks for listening. On to the next step.